A very good morning to every one of you. I hope all of you are staying safe and are in good health. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all at the 50th annual general meeting of the company being held today, that is 30th day of July 2021 at 11:30 a.m. This meeting is being held through video conferencing or other audiovisual means in accordance with the circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and the Securities and Exchange Board of India. The webcast of this meeting is being provided by National Securities Depository Limited, that is NSDL, through its website. The company has made necessary arrangements in order to enable members of the company to participate and vote for the items to be considered in this annual general meeting. I would like to take you through certain important aspects regarding the participation at this meeting. Facility of joining this AGM through video conferencing or other audiovisual means is being made available for the members on a first come first served basis. All members who have joined this meeting are by default placed on mute mode by the host. Once the question answer session starts, the moderator will announce names of the shareholders who have registered themselves as speaker shareholders. The speaker shareholder will thereafter be unmuted by the host. The speaker shareholder may put on his or her video if he or she desires to be seen. While speaking, we would request the speaker shareholder to use earphones for better clarity. Speaker shareholders are requested to announce their names, folio number or DPID and client ID before speaking and limit their queries to not more than 3 minutes during the AGM. If a member faces any technical issues, he or she may contact the helpline number of NSDL mentioned in the notice of the AGM. I would like to mention that in compliance with the provisions of the Companies Act 2013 and SEBI listing regulations, the company has provided to its members the facility to cast their vote through remote e-voting system provided by NSDL. The remote e-voting commenced at 9 a.m. on 27th July 2021 and was open for voting up to 5 p.m. on 29th day of July 2021. The facility for e-voting is also available during the AGM to the members who have not yet casted their vote through remote e-voting. Members attending the AGM may go to the voting page of NSDL's e-voting website and may cast their vote. Mr. Dinesh Joshi, a practicing company secretary, designated partner of Kanj and Company LLP, company secretaries, has been appointed as scrutinizer to scrutinize the votes received through remote e-voting and also through e-voting at the AGM. Members who have not voted earlier through remote e-voting can cast their vote during the course of meeting through e-voting facility. The company has received authorizations from 10 corporate shareholders appointing their representatives under Section 113 of the Companies Act 2013 in respect of 3 crores 90 lakh 88,107 equity shares representing 28.66% of the paid up equity share capital of the company. The statutory registers as required under the Companies Act 2013 and other documents as mentioned in the notice convening this AGM are open for inspection by way of a web link provided on the website of NSDL and also on the company's website. Now I request the chairman to take the proceedings of the meeting further.
Thank you, Mr. Bajpai. I cordially welcome all of you to the 50th Annual General Meeting of the company. As the requisite quorum is present, I call the meeting to order. With me here on stage are, to my left, Mr. Maulik Mehta, Executive Director and CEO, and on my right, Mr. Sanjay Upadhyay, Director Finance and Chief Financial Officer, and Mr. Arvind Bajpai, the Company Secretary. I now request all the directors who have joined the AGM through the VC to introduce themselves. Mr. Ajay Mehta.
Welcome all shareholders. This is Ajay Mehta. I'm attending this annual general meeting from Pune through video conferencing. And I hope everybody is safe.
Thank you. Mr. Sudhir Mankad.
Sudhir Mankad. I'm an independent director of the company, and I'm also the chairman of the Nomination and Remuneration Committee and the Corporate Social Responsibility Committee. I'm attending 50th annual general meeting of the company from Village Dugani, district Nainital. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Sandesh Kumar Anand.
Non-independent director. I am attending this meeting from my office from Baroda. And I wish
Thank you.
Very best for this meeting to all my colleague and the shareholders.
Thank you. Mr. Sanjay Asher.
This is Sanjay Asher here. Good morning, everybody. I am an independent director of Deepak Nitrite Limited. I'm attending this annual general meeting from my residence in Bombay. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Purvi Sheth.
Good morning, everyone. This is Purvi Sheth, Independent Director of Deepak Nitrite Limited, attending the 50th Annual General Meeting from my home in Mumbai.
Thank you. Mr. Dilip Choksi.
I'm an independent director of the company. I'm also the chairman of the audit committee. I'm attending the 50th annual general meeting of Deepak Nitrite from my office in Bombay. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Shivram.
Namaskar. Good morning. I'm Dr. Shivram, an independent director of Deepak Nitrite Limited. I'm attending the 50th AGM of the company from my office in Pune.
Thank you, Dr. Shivram. Dr. Richard Roop could not join the meeting today. He is little unwell and currently in Europe. Representatives of the statutory auditors, Deloitte, Haskin and Sells, and the representatives of the secretarial auditors, Mrs. Kanjan Company Limited, have also joined this meeting through VC. I thank all the shareholders for joining this meeting. I hope all of you are in good health and safe. Now, I will take you through the highlights of the performance of the company during the financial year 2021. First of all, let me share with you a little bit of discomfort where I find that there are more members sitting physically on this end of the table as compared to the people opposite me physically. I know virtually all of you are there together. But this physical situation actually reminds me of the story that began 50 years back when Deepak Nitrite was first created. And I do remember and recollect that the first annual general meeting, we had more members and directors on this side of the table and far fewer shareholders on the other side of the table. Since then, the effort was to see how to constantly work to have more and more active physical participation of you, dear shareholders. Mr. C.K. Mehta, my father, who was the main promoter of Deepak Nitrite, began this dream in early 70s. And this was his first chemical venture in manufacturing. Quite a few of the shareholders that are present today who were also there in those days may recollect that that was a young entrepreneur wanting to grow quickly, wanting to prove that Indian technology is good and wanting to ensure that focusing on the requirements of the country, today what we call as Atmanirbharta. In those days, it used to be more of making products for the country. Those were the spirits of entrepreneurship that drove Mr. Mehta to start Deepak Nitrite. That spirit of growth was, I believe, typical of some of the well-known entrepreneurs of those times. And soon, after the two products, sodium nitrite and sodium nitrate, were made, the spirit continued to add almost one product every year. We added nitric acids, ammonium nitrates, rubber chemicals. And soon, within a decade, that is, I believe, in 1980s, early 1980s, Deepak Nitrite ventured into creating a company which was much larger than itself. And that was the creation of Deepak Fertilizers to make ammonia from the just discovered Bombay High gas. We used to jokingly call that the baby is bigger than the mother. And as Deepak Fertilizer grew as a separate entity, Deepak Nitrite continued its growth through acquisitions. We acquired facilities in Pune to make specialty intermediates. And then we continue to acquire newer businesses. The idea of growing homegrown technology was certainly a good idea, but Deepak did not stop there. When it came to looking at acquiring the best of technologies in the world, Deepak invested in a technology from Switzerland to make nitration products for the country. And soon Deepak went into more and more nitration products, from nitrochlorobenzenes to nitrotoluenes to nitroxylenes to nitrocumines. And as Deepak moved from one chemistry to another, it also moved in terms of growth by acquiring businesses. It acquired businesses in Roha, it acquired businesses in Hyderabad. It set up new facilities also in a place, Taloja, next to Deepak Fertilizers. Deepak was perhaps one of the first companies to look at taking the off gases of a fertilizer plant and setting a range of multi-purpose hydrogenation facilities. And constantly, the effort was to make value-added intermediates. As the country moved from looking at its own requirements to looking at the world, Deepak also accepted the situation that as import duties come down, it will be best to face the world with exporting to various parts in the country, in the world, and ensure that we are not only as competitive, but our qualities are the very best. And hence, from something like 5 to 7% of our turnover going to exports, steadily Deepak Nitrite moved to something like 20%, 30%, 40%. At a period of time, our domestic sales and exports were more or less matching each other. There were challenging times during this growth period. I'm reminded of a situation when, if due to the world changes in moving away from oil to using things like biodiesel, the biodiesel demand sparked off a huge demand for agrochemicals. And one of the world major players in agrochemicals came to Deepak and wanted to quadruple the offtake from Deepak. Deepak was able to do it in months and was able to ensure that all the requirements of this major giant were filled by Deepak's own supplies. This company, in the same year, awarded Deepak as their world's best chemical intermediate supplier. So such was the journey, such were the times. And as time moved forward, Deepak, which was already in several locations in manufacturing, decided that it's time to look at location as a issue in itself. The Pune unit, which was on the outskirts of the city of Pune, had now got in the midst of the city of Pune as Pune city grew. And it was important from safety concerns that the Pune unit is shifted to other locations, including Baroda and Roha. Around 2012, Deepak also considered whether it was the right thing to do business from Pune, as the only location in Pune was transferred to these places. And it decided to shift its headquarters from Pune to Baroda. From a location standpoint of view, this period was also the period when Deepak acquired a large piece of land in Dahej, very close to Baroda, about 100 miles from Baroda, to start setting up businesses over there. Our first business was to set up the performance product business for optical whiteners. But very soon, this bug of wanting to do something big, something what was really required for the country, started making all of us work harder and look for some great opportunity. This great opportunity came in the form of putting up the country's largest petrochemical intermediates plant to make phenol and acetone. This was almost 5 times as large as the next largest Indian plant. And it came at a time when the country's requirements had also grown as much. By 2018, the phenol plant was commissioned in a record time and the ramping up started off very well. From 2 products to now maybe 30, 40 products. From 1 location to now multi-locations. From a home market to giving products all over the world. Deepak has come a long way. A lot of things have changed. And yet, a lot of things have not changed. The desire to dream big and make it happen has not changed. The pride in one's product, one's technology, and one's people has not changed over these years. The desire to also ensure that there is constant reward to its shareholders have not changed. I do remember in those days, Deepak was one of those very few companies which started giving dividend from the second year of its operation. And within the next 2 to 3 years, Deepak gave the first bonus. Today, as we stand at the 58th year, I do find that a person who would have invested somewhere around 100 shares, or I would put a value of 7,000 rupees, because there were some right shares also that were bought in the later period. But that 7,000 rupees investment by our shareholders at today's market value have grown from 7,000 rupees to 3.5 crores. And this is a fantastic performance by any standards. Today, as we move on from Mr. C.K. Mehta, the founder, and my father, to me, and to my 2 young children who have joined the business, Maulik and Meghav, I do see that the company has grown from strength to strength. It's much more vigorous, it's much more focused and driven, and it's striving to be one of the most modern chemical complexes. This continues to give me pride And I'm sure all of you shareholders would, along with me, look forward to the next 50 years where we would continue to grow even better. Having said this, we all are aware that the year that went by was a year which was unprecedented, largely because of Corona. I do remember that last year in the AGM, we had just the first quarter that had gone where all of the factories were under lockdown. All of us were more at home, and life was really a major challenge for all of us, citizens of the country and citizens of the world. The whole focus during the last year was on to looking at how could we help the society to fight Corona. In the company itself, going through lockdowns and going through startups, going through a situation where we had to find ways of running these plants with fewer people, maybe sometimes half, sometimes 1/3, were a real technological challenge. The need for sometimes starting plants and stopping plants created more technological challenges for a typical chemical industry. The company went out of its way to ensure that safety for all its employees, be it relating to sanitization, ensuring safe distancing, ensuring that each and everyone who comes to the company confirms that he has not had any exposure through his neighbors or through his other family members. And if he has had such exposure, then the company would support the person by sharing that he could be on leave on full pay and ensure the well-being of the family. At the same time, keep the rest of the people at Deepak unexposed. Even to the outside society, the company worked to see how best it could contribute, whether it was giving in the initial period facilities for testing to couple of states. Deepak was keen to contribute in terms of equipments and instruments. We continued those efforts by contributing things like ventilators to various parts of the country. We started running hospitals by converting them to COVID hospitals. We soon ended up putting a 40-bed hospital fully equipped with oxygen, with ventilators, with ICU beds, and running here in Baroda. Similarly, in some of the other places like Jammu Gaon, some of the other hospitals that the company's group, Deepak Foundation, was managing, was converted to run for COVID. All in all, has been a very, very challenging year from COVID point of view. At the same time, I would like to share that the last year was unprecedented in terms of financial performance also. In these last 5 years, every year we have been working to see that every year is better than the previous year. And I do remember 2 years back or 3 years back, we were at a stage where we felt this was the highest profitable position for the company, when as a group, we were at about 280 crores of PBT. The year after that, thanks to the challenges for some of the products coming from other countries, the world demand being very high, the issues between two countries having major trade challenges, that Deepak got an opportunity and was able to scale up certain products, got benefits of improved prices, and our profitability shot up from 280 crores to maybe, I think, somewhere around 800 crores. It was a wonderful year. But some of these fluctuations are not to last for long. And the next year, that was last year, the product that had shot up because of short-term shortages came back to near normal. And as the world also aligned itself in terms of managing this COVID situation, new challenges and new opportunities were thrown. Challenges in terms of logistics were acute as ports were getting jammed, as material was not moving from one country to another. In these trying circumstances, the company worked as hard to see that it was keeping more and more options available. If the local markets had suddenly stopped, the company worked hard to move into exports. It would try to see if the finished product, main product was not sold, it would start selling the intermediate as much as possible. And together with the other tailwind supports that the company got more because of commodity prices that were ruling high, the company clocked in one of the best performances of the year, of the period, and we were able to cross a PBT of over 1,000 crores on a consolidated basis. This I do want to share that my father, when he learns about these things, is very, very happy and very, very proud. And I'm sure some of the old shareholders also would feel very, very similar as they see the company growing from strength to great strengths. With a wonderful year that has happened, we began this year more or less on a similar situation. COVID struck again with the second wave. And as you know, this time it was even worse because it was so close to home. The challenges that were there, the situations that occurred where people were not sure how did they get COVID because they were not sure about how the exposure really happened. People say that COVID was in the air. And the company struggled to see how to keep its people motivated, how to ensure that those who went through COVID are also given counseling to come back to normal life, to take care of them in terms of insurance, to take care of them in terms of whoever was support, whoever expired, to really help them in terms of during harness, and work to see that employees as a family are feeling together to rise up to the challenges. I do know that as a company, we would keep literally monitoring on a daily basis which patient was at where and what is the status, and is any part of the country, is he getting the right services? If not, we would find a way to see that the right services are sent to him from wherever. On the financial front also, this quarter was a quarter with similar challenges, albeit somewhat even higher, particularly with logistics playing a havoc. International business was severely affected because of the ISO containers and containers getting jammed at places in America and Europe, and finding that it's so very difficult to move material between us and our customers in Europe. We were able to ensure that, at least so far as our raw materials were concerned, that we are able to maintain availability by and large. And this, I think, is also the strength of Deepak, that it is so well connected from one input to another through a value chain process, that this has come as a great strength for the company. With all of these challenges, we also had the situation of the hurricane that came, and there were power outages at Dahej that did create problems for continuing our production on some of the plants. However, With all of these challenges, the team worked extremely hard and worked to see what best could be done. And even having lost those few days, for example, in the phenol business, we were able to ensure that the remaining days that the plant ran, we ran it at much higher capacities so that the average running of the plant was still at over 110% capacity. It was the same approach of agility to see that if certain businesses, like we had the situation of plywood and laminates again going down because of the COVID challenges in Northeast, in near Punjab and Delhi. And again, the agile team at Deepak worked to see that, okay, if Indian market is not there, how do I quickly move these products to international markets? And we moved these products to places like Europe, Southeast Asia, even China. So at the end of the day, this whole effort to be nimble, be quick in response, be quick in change, and constantly have a very motivated team certainly made a big difference to the performance. And I'm happy to share that yesterday when we passed our results, Deepak on a consolidated basis has clocked in, has just crossed 400 crores in the PBT for the quarter. I do realize that in the business, particularly when you continue to play a larger and larger role, not only for local markets, but for international markets too, there are going to be challenges coming. There are going to be issues relating to the external environment affecting the company. But I'm deeply in belief of the strength of the team that is there at Deepak to see that they would find one way or the other and continue this growth story. As we look at the businesses today, and as we look at what is happening from the country point of view, one of the key issue has been the government very keen to see that India becomes more and more Atmanirbhar. One of the issue has been that products like pharmaceuticals, where India is still so much dependent on getting their actives or intermediates from outside, has been a cause of serious concern by the government of India. And they have been working to see how to encourage more investments, more technologies that can be brought in to see that farmers, all of these products like pharma, agro, are given support to see that India becomes more and more independent as Indian demand grows. Deepak has been more at the intermediate stage, and its stake is in the prosperity of all of these companies, be it pharma, be it agrochemicals. And hence, it would always look at opportunities and options that would go to support some of these major customers. When we started looking at this year's plan in terms of growth, one of the areas that we worked on was to see what can we be doing to get more and more intermediates that are otherwise imported to be made in India. Our focus has been mostly on life science products. And in a site that we acquired just a year back, which is about 125 acres, this is an additional site, what we call now as the Dahej 2. Dahej 1 is the first site where we put up the whiteners plant and where we put up the large phenol plant. Dahej 2 is another 125 acres, which we have taken to continue our dreams of constant continued growth. This site is now getting to be ready for new investments. And the first quarter, 2-3 months back, we announced for Deepak Nitrite that it would make its first investments into specialty intermediates at this site, particularly focusing on fluorination as one key process that we would adopt. The beauty of Deepak's initiatives in this is that it would not only make a very difficult process work at its site at Dahej, it would be able to integrate very beautifully with the other strengths that Deepak is already having, be it nitration, be it hydrogenation, be it diazotization. All of these combined with fluorination would give us a unique position to make certain advanced intermediates that would go again for the life science industry. Some more investments in this area in terms of increasing our capacities, putting new capacities in diazotation fields, which again would go for the newer generation intermediates for the newer generation active products that are coming up in the marketplace. We just had our board meeting yesterday, and besides the results that were brought to the board, we also brought to the board, we also discussed in the board and committed to look at making major further investments in DPL. While in Deepak Nitrite, the investment was about 350 crores in these specialty intermediates. In Deepak Phenolics, we decided to go downstream into making some more solvents, like the way we are already making acetone and IPA. And we have committed to something like 700 crores in making of these new solvents. One of the solvent that we plan to make, we still need to do some more international market confirmation. But in principle, this project is also cleared. My long-term desire is to see that Deepak continues to be a powerhouse of solvents. Solvents are one of the key ingredients for life science products today, like pharmaceuticals, agrochemicals. Solvents is also a key ingredient for better quality of life tomorrow. For example, not only in paints and coatings, even in auto paints, they are dependent on very, very critical solvents. And Deepak would want to see that it continues to grow this basket of solvents and ensures that it is a major supplier of all of these. By and large, all of these solvents are import substitutes. So it continues the story of constantly working on Atmanirbharta. As the years go by, we want to ensure that the focus of Deepak in terms of growing new chemistries continues to be supported by a lot of commitment towards science. This science that will help us to see that we are constantly interacting with intermediates that are required for life science products, constantly participating with companies who are looking at bringing in new products, new businesses, and being great partners with them. And at the same time, working to see that science leads us to many more places. At the end of the day, the whole approach of Deepak is to see that it works to bind science, different sciences together, chemistry, chemical engineering, the science of catalysts. And maybe in the long-term future, as we look at India moving more towards the 5Gs, electric vehicles, and all of these, material science would be playing an equally long-term critical role. And Deepak would want to see that in all of these areas of science, it continues to be actively participant and ensuring that it can partner with some of the best in the world. For all of these efforts, Deepak continued to put in a lot of focus on research and development. And in fact, I think last year we would have more than doubled or tripled our capital investment into research and development. We are also planning, as I mentioned last time, to put in new capacity, new research center very close to Baroda, which will be also a state-of-an-art R&D center. As the year closes, we also realize that some of the projects that we have taken last year, one was to double our IPA capacity, one was to put up a large utility site with additional steam and power availability. Both of these projects, which were to be completed by the year end, that is March 2021, have, as a result of the challenges due to COVID, due to contractors, people not being available as a result of migration, etc., have gone off schedule by a few months. But I do know that in the long term, these projects will add significant value to what we are doing at Deepak. With these few thoughts, I would like to welcome you all again for this annual general meeting, and would ask if you have any questions, if you have any areas for clarifications, to please come forward and share your points. I would ask the moderator to take on from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I request the speaker shareholders to limit their queries to not more than 3 minutes each and ask questions or provide suggestions which are relevant to the company. The response to the queries shall be provided together at the end. Our first speaker is Mr. Digant Mehta. Mr. Mehta, please provide your DPID and client ID before asking the question. You may ask your question now.
Hello. Good morning to all. My name is Digant Mehta. My DPID is IN300888 and my client ID is 13998740. First, I would like to congratulate Chairman and all the board members on attaining Golden Jubilee with such a great performance and with a good set of numbers across all product segments, even in challenge times of COVID. Now, my only question is to you is how we have created an environment of safety in order to make plant operations and logistics unabated. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mehta. We have noted your question. Our next speaker is Mr. Nirav Jimudia. Mr. Jimudia, please provide your DPID and client ID before asking the question. You may ask your question now.
Yeah, my name is Nirav Jimudia and my DPID is IN30115122924874. Sir, I would like to first congratulate entire team of Deepak Nitrite for working relentlessly and tirelessly, the benefit of which we as a shareholder has seen in our operating performance. So I would also like to congratulate the team who has put the entire encyclopedia of information relating to the industry and the company in our annual report. So sir, I had 3-4 questions to ask. So first question is, sir, our
Mr. Jimudia, your voice is breaking.
So if you can help us with respect to, yeah, now I am audible, sir? Now
Yes.
I am audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So sir, So sir, our success has depended more on process innovation plus the import substitute strategy. So if you can help us explain this with reference to our finance specialty division, like how many new products have we introduced in last 4-5 years, and with the gradual ramp up of volumes in that segment, how much they currently form as a percentage of our segmental revenue in FY21. So with every backward integration helps us to save our freight cost. Plus the operating leverage also kicks in. So if you can help us explain how much of the margin improvement from 26% in FY17 in finance specialty division to 45% in FY21 can be attributable to A, backward integration or process innovation, and B, product innovation or launch of new products. So this is my first question. So my second question is our FY19 annual report shows that we have something around 1362 employees, and in FY21 it is like almost closer to 1900. Plus, there is a statement also in the annual report which says that the leadership pipeline is being built by identifying key positions. So my question is, how has been the spread of this incremental 500 core employees which we have recruited over the years in terms of A, strengthening the top positions across business verticals, B, new businesses, 3, R&D, 4, marketing, and 5th, people working on new product and process. Some overview of this. So my third question is, so one statement in annual report says that company focuses on swing capacity to improve plant utilization and improve asset fungibility in line with customer requirements for key intermediates. So if you can help us explain, is this with respect to finance specialty division or it is related to the entire basket of products that we produce at Deepak? And sir, my last question is with respect to Deepak Phenolics. So as mentioned in the annual report, like we have been the lowest power and water consumption with respect to any comparable phenol plant globally. Now our captive power plant is also coming up, which will again help us to save the variable cost. So my question is, as Mr. Chairman sir has mentioned in the opening remarks, is that freight rates have been going up globally, coupled with the container shortages. So how we are overcoming these challenges with respect to A, raw material sourcing like propylene and benzene to bring down our logistic cost within India, and second, if we are exporting phenol and acetone out of India, how we are managing the things at the group level. Thank you very much, and I support all the resolutions and all the very best for the great future. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Jimudia. We have noted your questions. Our next speaker is Mr. Deepak Desai. Mr. Desai, you are requested to provide your DPID and client ID before asking the question.
Hello.
You may ask your question now.
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, congratulations on great performance. And as Chairman Mr. Deepak Mehta has said, it is also continuing in this year. It is really also heartening to note that Maulik Mehta and Ido Mehta has also come up very well in their position and helping Deepak Bhai and made proud of the whole family, starting from visionary C.K. Mehta. I have one wish or request that 50th golden year, some bonus issue should have been declared. And as such also price is very high, 2,000 rupees. So it would have come down to 1,000 rupees and it would have been in the reach of small shareholders. And the question is that what is the vision now for Deepak Nitrite and Deepak Phenolics in future times to come? Thank you very much for giving me opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Desai. We have noted your question. Our next speaker is Mr. Shashikant Marathe. Mr. Marathe, you are requested to provide your DPID and client ID before asking the question. You may ask your question now.
DPID 120 10 900 163 086 96. Can I start now?
Yes, sir.
I, Shashikant Marathe of Pune, wish Chairman and all attending this e-meeting a good afternoon. Abide by safety mantra in spelling. Chairman, sir, your apt decision to be IR compliant and your 6-pillar outlook is bound to give you a cutting edge of peers. Having lost 35 days, the company ensured 100% delivery date schedule by adopting work from home as well as team building exercise by embracing digitalization. We are thankful for a dividend at 2.75% per share, topping up promoter share by 0.84%. Also encourages us. Retail shareholders have also raised their shares. You deserve our appreciation for producing 115% capacity for phenol segment, completed with large-scale production of key raw materials, which were hitherto imported from China. You have implemented our PM's Atmanirbhar Bharat in totality, that too in pandemic barriers. Sir, you and the company deserve the EY Entrepreneur Award 2020. Also, Indian Best CEO, the CFO also back. Another accolade. Encourage others to fall in line and help Deepak to bag more awards. CSR is unique and the company deserves credit for looking after safety of employees and also its clients. Your export drive during pandemic helped India having a surplus of over 200 crores year on year. Your export to all over the world. It is a rare case that our list of unpaid statutory dues is least among the most listed companies. You should concentrate on standalone data as it interferes inferior to the consolidated one in many respects. When the captive power plant on steam also state total capex and its buyback period. How many patents are back out of 36 applications? Would you earn some patents on their grants? Inform us how to ensure to avoid infringement of patents. Keep a record of bias for our explosive products. Tell us more about Deepak Group Awards, organizing growth and efforts for reducing COVID spread. Sir, you took us to the journey of 50 years from your father's efforts to what you have done, and you have also arranged to have your two sons being geared up. I am quite happy that you explained that the investment of 70 crores, 70,000, few years back is more than few crores. I would like to invest now 10 lakhs and would like to save 1 billion after 20 years. Thank you for allowing me to say my few words. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marathe. We have noted your questions. As there are no other registered speaker shareholders, I request the chairman to kindly respond to the questions. Thank you.
So I wish we had more of physical shareholders, then there would be maybe more questions coming, which would have given me more opportunity to share our thoughts. But let me respond to some of the questions that have been raised. They are also quite interesting questions. Mr. Digan Mehta mentioned about how do we really take care of safety in operations and logistics during these times. Yes, you are very right that during these COVID times, issue of safety becomes very paramount. You know, when the government asks that companies go through lockdowns and we have to close down plants, and then over a period we have to again restart plants, there certainly comes a key issue about safety. Chemical plants are like riding an aeroplane. The highest risk in an aeroplane is not when you are flying. The highest risk in an aeroplane is when you are taking off or you are landing. And in the same way, for a chemical plant to get started or a chemical plant to close down is very, very critical. The company was very, very aware, and therefore it set in various SOPs to ensure that the plant closures or startups are taken care, ensuring that each and every point that is required to be seen is taken care of. It was important to see that all the senior people who are there are constantly aware, are constantly there, if not physically, then through VC, to ensure that they are taking the plant to either safe stoppage or safe startup. Even in issues like logistics, as you rightly said, we were bringing products right from Cochin to Dahej, traveling over 1,000 kilometers. The team set up facilities to ensure GPS control and control, like we could literally watch every vehicle, where it is today, where it is now, what speed it is going, and if at all anybody was going beyond the laid down speed limits, we would ensure that they are reprimanded immediately. Besides this, a lot of efforts to see that every of the truck tankers that come were given in a constant training, constant communication, the need for rest, the need for going by a steady speed. All these care were also taken to see that in logistics, there is not a single challenge that is affecting us and affecting the society. Of course, this is the maximum that one can be careful about dealing with chemicals, dealing with products. It is like as many automobiles, as many cars go on the road, that many chances of accidents are there. It is only to ensure that we are consistent, steady, and demanding high level of safety as a priority that ensures safe handling of logistics. I may bring also cover one more point that Nirav mentioned in his area as to what are we doing to look at reducing the cost of logistics. For once, I wish I can physically bring Cochin and Panipat close to Dahej, but I think even God cannot do that, right? What we have been doing is therefore to see that the way movement of products is taking place, we are able to do something to improve upon that. The first initiative that we have taken recently is to see that the same vehicle which used to be carrying 16 tons to 18 tons, we have now brought in vehicles which are larger, which can carry 21 tons, 22 tons load. This certainly works to reduce the amount of number of tankers that would be moving for every ton of product that we require. The next stage we have been studying is also to look at concept of ISO containers, and it may not help so much for material movement from Panipat, but material movement over the sea from Kochi, etc., could be something that we can try. All of these efforts will not only reduce safety challenges, but also reduce costs, because in case we are able to work to see that material movement is taking place over the sea, then water transportation will become much more competitive. So these are efforts on, but we cannot be working in isolation. And the country itself is working to see how more and more material movement through sea, through waterways is encouraged. I do hope the current government continues that effort, and more ports will see more material movement, inland movement between different ports is possible. Some of the points that Nirav mentioned, let me share that in these last 5 years, there has been continuous efforts to see how we can bring more products on the fine and specialty side, and at the same time continuously work to close the value chain of making these fine and specialties. For example, in these last 2 years or 3 years, we have been working to see that if we were importing an intermediate for making the finance specialty, we would now be importing even a still basic intermediate, so that more value addition not only takes place in India, but that much more dependence and reliance on foreign supplies is reduced. Generally, most of these foreign supplies have been from China, which all the pharma agro companies are going through similar challenges. So this effort is also very useful when we see that the unique difference in Deepak is that we try to go across the value chain. We make basic building blocks, we make finance specialties, somewhere we make them into also performance products. By being present in the entire value chain, not only we are able to bring in some sort of a stability and resilience in the businesses that we are in to help our customers, but there are times when you find that something in the value chain has gone haywire internationally, and a lot of suppliers are unable to supply these products. Some of those who are our competitors, when they have challenges because of this problem on the value chain, Deepak always tends to gain. We saw this happening 2 years back in one of our products. Even last year, we were able to far better support our customers in finance specialties, because while the rest of the people were having challenges of logistics, we were doing all of these things under one roof. And this has been the strength of Deepak. Deepak is not only good at making the finance specialties, it is also good at making the bulk or the basic intermediates. And bringing them all under one roof brings us to have a lot more resilience, lot more capacity to take the challenges, and in the long term continues to make Deepak as one of the best long-term partners for our customers. You mentioned about employees. So between 2019 and now, one major division that, or one major business that has been added to Deepak is the phenolics business. And Deepak Phenolics came in with, I think, about 300, 350 people added to Deepak's family. In these last few years, the company has also ensured that it is not only investing in manufacturing teams, it is also ensuring investment of teams in things like research and development. And I believe in this last 6-8 months itself, we have significantly increased the number of talent that is now working for Deepak in our R&D center. Besides marketing, the company has also invested into talents which we call as strategy teams, which are constantly looking at market intelligence, constantly looking at what is happening in the world, and how do we really align ourselves with the world. Besides these, of course, the efforts during these 2 years has been to see we invest in talents which are good at training talents, improving our abilities, and also upgrading our IT skills. There was one more question about plant fungibility. And here too, I would say that this is the strength of Deepak, that when certain challenges happen in the outside world and some businesses, how best we are able to quickly see that the plant is fungible to make other products. You recollect the story that I mentioned to you about how we quadrupled the production of one agro intermediate within a few months. This could not have happened if we were to put up totally new plants. This only happened because we were able to put together some of the plants that we had, which were making other products, and then getting them dedicated for a short time for the new product, for the product that the world was suddenly requiring. In the same way, there is this ability to see how to make our plant meet up with changing environment, changing requirements. About 6-7 years back, the product that was in great demand was to make additives for the oil industry, diesel additives, and Deepak grew very well in making the diesel additives. Today, as diesel demands have been going down largely because of COVID, Deepak is able to quickly see how part of that plant can be converted into another life science intermediate, which is going through a good demand pull, and ensure that it is meeting up with these newer customer requirements as it adjusts to the fact that diesel demand in the world has gone down. I'm sure this flexibility of Deepak to make assets more fungible will always be a key strength of Deepak. With power and steam investments coming up by end of this year, by the second half of this year, first half of this year, I do feel that we will make ourselves even more competitive in the energy management. At the same time, I may share that today, because of the way world prices are going up in commodities, coal prices, oil prices have all significantly gone up. What we can promise is to see that amongst the other players, Deepak will always be better off. But the situation of prices going up in the world, we have to see that we are able to reckon with some of these. Mr. Deepak Desai talked about bonus, and last year one of the things we did was to see that we gave an interim dividend and a special dividend, keeping in mind the 58th year. With regard to bonus, I do find that the market cap itself is now so good that the equity portion really, it hardly makes any major difference. And therefore, I do feel that what is most important is for the shareholders to gain out of improving market caps. So far as the vision of the company, I did mention to you in my earlier part of the talk that Deepak would constantly want to remain a very good chemical intermediates company, but moving more and more towards advanced intermediates, moving more and more towards creating value out of knowledge, moving more towards looking at science to really give us the decision, give us the direction. And as I see in the midterm, when the world needs much more of inputs for life science products, that's where Deepak would like to be, and we will continue to increase our focus. We would continue to look at making products which are like for the first time in the country, to then finding ways and means of integrating with the remaining products. I always see Deepak's growth like what the Germans call it Verbund, where one product leads to two more products lead to 7 more products. And that's how we create a web of products, so that not only we are growing, but we are growing in a way that we have the maximum resilience capacity. Even the new products that we have chosen and we continue to choose are in this direction. In the long term, we do continue to see science really driving us to look at futuristic demands. We may move from life science, which is the need of the hour today, to other sciences that would be coming about as the world moves forward. In areas where we need to bring in, looking at patents, we do take initiatives on that. Sometimes we do believe that doing something new, we are not sure how effectively patents can take care. So depending upon the development, we decide whether which of these should be patented, which of these should be a very good practice that we should keep in-house. So with all of this, I do see Deepak constantly growing in the business of chemicals and working to see that we continue to create an ecosystem where business, profits, performance continues to grow. Thank you very much. I really appreciate all of you to have come and been with us on the video to listen to all the proceedings of the AGM. I thank Mr. Bajpai. I now request you to take the proceedings further.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dear shareholders, since the notice was already circulated to all the members, I take the notice convening this meeting as read. There are no qualifications, observations, or adverse remarks in the auditor's report issued by the statutory auditors, and also there are no qualifications, observations, or comments or other remarks in the secretarial auditor's report which have any material adverse effect on the functioning of the company, and hence the same are not required to be read out at this AGM. However, I will brief the members about the agenda items as contained in the notice convening this annual general meeting. There are 7 business items in the notice of 50th annual general meeting of the company. I will now read the items under ordinary business. Item number 1 of the notice: to receive, consider, approve, and adopt the audited financial statements of the company for the financial year ended 31st March 2021, together with the reports of the Board of Directors and the auditor's report thereon. The resolution for item number 1 as provided in the notice is proposed to be passed as an ordinary resolution. Item number 2 of the notice: to receive, consider, approve, and adopt the audited consolidated financial statements of the company for the financial year ended 31st March 2021, together with the report of the auditors thereon. The resolution for item number 2 as provided in the notice is proposed to be passed as an ordinary resolution. Item number 3 of the notice: to declare a final dividend of rupees 4.50, that is rupees 4 and paisa 50 only, being 225% per equity share of face value of rupees 2 each, and a special dividend of rupee 1 being 50% per equity share of face value of rupees 2 each, to commemorate Golden Jubilee year of the company. Accordingly, the total dividend for the year ended 31st March 2021 is 5.50, that is rupees 5 and paise 50 only, being 275% equity share of face value of rupees 2 each. The resolution for item number 3 as provided in the notice is proposed to be passed as an ordinary resolution. Item number 4 of the notice: to appoint a director in place of Mr. Maulik Mehta, having director identification number 05227290, who retires by rotation at this annual general meeting, and in terms of section 152 subsection 6 of the Companies Act 2013, and being eligible has offered himself for reappointment. The resolution for item number 4 as provided in the notice is proposed to be passed as an ordinary resolution. The items under special business are: item number 5 of the notice: reappointment of Mr. Maulik Mehta, having director identification number 05227290 as the executive director and chief executive officer of the company for further period of 5 years with effect from 9th May 2021. The resolution for item number 5 as provided in the notice is proposed to be passed as an ordinary resolution. Item number 6 of the notice: ratification of remuneration of rupees 8 lakh to the cost auditors for the financial year 2021 and 22, plus applicable taxes, traveling, and other out-of-pocket expenses. The resolution for item number 6 as provided in the notice is also proposed to be passed as an ordinary resolution. Item number 7 of the notice: continuation of directorship of Dr. Richard H. Roop, having director identification number 02205790 as an independent director of the company beyond the age of 75 years in terms of Regulation 17, Sub-Regulation 1A of the Securities and Exchange Board of India Listing Obligations and Disclosure Requirements Regulations 2015. The resolution for item number 7 as provided in the notice is proposed to be passed as a special resolution. The facility to vote shall be kept open up to 15 minutes after the conclusion of this annual general meeting. Therefore, members who have not casted their votes yet are requested to do so. Now, I request the chairman to give his concluding remarks.
I thank you all, dear shareholders, for joining this meeting through video conference. I wish safe and healthy times ahead for all of us. Thank you for attending the meeting, and I hereby declare the 50th AGM of the company as concluded. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye.